guys, it's Bunny and welcome to today's video. For today, I will be reacting to guys versus girls in MMA, men versus women fighting. I've already done something similar, men versus women in sport, and I shared my inputs and thoughts about it. So if you want to check it out, and this is one of like the best videos on my channel in recent days, click here or here to check it out. Alright, let's go and see this video, shall we?
Girls versus guys in MMA. It's not often that fans will see intergender mixed martial arts action, but where there's a will, there's a way. Typically, fighters are divided by gender, weight, and skill level, but these barriers aren't always there, and we'll spend this video highlighting some of these bouts. In this bout, we've got a display of two very different fighters. A 50-year-old man taking on a...
I don't know what I feel about this, when it's like you can already see that it's not all right.
Girl that has a size and apparent skill advantage. Now, this isn't what you'll see when turning on a UFC or PFL card, but it's entertaining nonetheless. The female here strikes early and often with the roundhouse kicks and teep kicks up the middle, but the 50-year-old man is doing a good job mitigating the impact despite not really knowing how he's doing it. Obviously struggling with the pressure, the man will turn his back to his opponent and run away. As the fight continues, things begin looking up for the older gentleman. His side kicks and body kicks seem to bother his female adversary. Now that he's found his timing and range, will he be able to do much with it? Not much. He's continually cut off and pushed against the cage. Though he's the furthest thing from a technical fighter, he's making his kicks and footwork work for him. The advancing female fighter just can't quite trap her opponent. However, she ends the round by pushing him down to the canvas. This match did have a hiccup of not being intergender, as the cornerman of the female fighter scaled the cage and attacked the 50-year-old. He was given the boot, and the bout continued, because why not?
Ooh.
As the third round begins, the man found the tools that'll work for him en route to victory. He takes his female foe down to the canvas and begins attacking from a headlock position. Right as the older man looks like he's about to finish the straight arm lock, would you look at that? The corner man comes rushing back and attempts to attack again. Despite this interference, the bouts once again continued, and the older gentleman secures the submission victory with 10 seconds left in the fight. All right, let's turn our attention to Poland, where MMA can, well, host any number of odd matchups. Don't get it wrong, Polish power is real, but the matchmaking can tend to a more obscure audience. When Piotr Lisowski met his smaller female adversary, things seemed a bit tense and largely felt wrong. This feeling was only exacerbated as the fight moved forward. Piotr had a clear size and strength advantage that allowed him to fight from the outside, but when the distance was closed, he'd easily secure the takedowns. The end of the first round saw Piotr on the bottom with a locked-in inverted triangle. Round 2 begins and it's more of the same. This poor blonde girl just didn't have the attributes required to take on Lisowski. He took him down once again in the second round and easily moved into the mount position. He then landed some ground and pound that warranted the referee's intervention. This event didn't end there. Yet another dolled-up male took on a much smaller...
Dolled-up male. Ay. What is these descriptions this guy's giving? Look at this guy. Oh my god.
Smaller female later that night. He was able to make it look less competitive, although he might have been the least skilled on the card. A series of light but frequent punches urged the referee to stop the action almost instantly. Tired of seeing bigger men fighting women? Well, so are we. But there's a whole lot of it. In this particular match, we have a guy who may be 1, 2, or 10 weight classes above his female opponent. Small and svelte doesn't mean she doesn't pack a punch, however. With evasive footwork and excellent timing, she tries to make the most out of what she's got. As she tries to dance around her opponent, she's eventually cut off and pressed against the fence. Forced to have this gentleman's weight pressed against her, things are looking rough for this female athlete. The referee eventually steps in and breaks the fighters for lack of action. Where she brings some technical striking and nice movement, this man's only using his size to press the action. He constantly presses her against the fence and wears on her. Again, these promotions are very bizarre. Ready for a callback? The woman from the previous video jumps into the octagon and attacks the forward-pressing man. Regardless, this match continues and actually ends up going the distance. The man, known as Grigory Chestiakov, won via decision. Shocker, right? This isn't the only instance of...
No, at all. Like, who even thought she's gonna win? In what universe?
Grigory Chistiakov partaking in intergender mixed martial arts. He was also seen taking on Darina Madzia. He brought in the same game plan for this fight.
Bigger.
He charged forward and hoped to suffocate his opponents, not with a choke, but merely with his mass. This worked on the last girl, but Darina is a whole different animal. She attacked with straight shots, Superman punches, and kicks. These attacks bothered Grigory, and it showed on his face. Regardless, he was able to press her onto the fence per his game plan. However, a lack of action prompted the referee to step in, and they were placed back into the center of the ring. It was then that the unexpected happened. Darina landed a series of right hands that sent Grigory down to the mat. She then landed punch after punch, and her opponent then tapped out due to strikes. This might be the weirdest fight to ever take place, and that's saying a lot given the previous bouts in this video. Two tattooed fighters, old and young, took on a female that doesn't exactly have the physique of one to challenge Amanda Nunes. However, she surprised many within seconds of the fight starting. A 2-on-1 handicap match would usually spell disaster immediately. But this woman is a better fighter than she appears to be. Or the two guys are just really, really bad. It might be all of the above. The bout begins, and so do the strikes. The older gentleman takes the lead and tries to close the distance using feints. But he sat down with a series of strikes from this brave woman. She didn't keep the knockdowns just for him, as she also rocked the younger of the male fighters. It's hard to secure a TKO and finish when you have two opponents to deal with, so these knockdowns were often interrupted. All three athletes, we use that word lightly here, are back on their feet and the action ensues. Again, it's the older gentleman advancing and giving it his all to attempt strikes. The woman has...
What is with these guys? I'm sorry, but like, they're so weird. They look like they just sniffed something before even entering this fight. Like, they're out of balance, they're shaky, their reaction is weird. I don't know, you guys. What do you think?
Has the size advantage, but she's clearly on the more difficult side of the matchmaking. Regardless, she's doing very well. The two men are hesitant to close the distance now, and they know the woman has the ability to knock them down. The first round concludes, and it seems that the woman won that one on the judges' scorecards.
The guy fell down.
In this bout, we have a man taking on a woman in a backyard kickboxing match. While the setting isn't as high profile as previous entries, the bout may hold the most skill in this entire video. The girl sporting the Muay Thai shorts, while her male opponent seems to be wearing Dickies, which aren't exactly known as garb for a kickboxing match. Regardless, the match begins and the action is immediately interesting. The girl does a great job jabbing and throwing leg kicks, moving her head off the center line as she does so. She shells up well whenever the guy tries to brawl with her. She seems to have formal training and a higher than normal fight IQ. However, the longer the match goes on, the more comfortable the guy becomes. He begins landing kicks of his own, and
this is so unfair. Oh my god, look at her falling down. This is totally unfair. Like, you can see that both of them know what they're doing this time. But the gender, like, one of them is girl, one of them is a man, and
finding his range.
Like, he has
the longer the fight goes on, the more it seems that it plays into the man's favor. The girl's still in the bout by the end of the first round, but it seems that her cardio is failing her. The second stanza just picks up where the first round dropped off. The man's throwing combinations and landing a good amount of shots, while the girl's landing leg kicks, but they've lost most of their steam. In the most exciting moment of the fight, the girl goes high with a kick and lands hard enough to send her opponent's mouthpiece flying. The two continue to exchange in what is a pretty closely contested fight.
Very nice. I love how he's like cheering her. But at the same, like, she's really trying. Who won?
This bout went all 3 rounds and needed the help of the judges to see who won. The winner? Well, this shows how close it really was, but the bout was declared a draw.
A draw!
Well, that about does it. Don't forget to like and
give it a draw as well. She did amazing. I'm so proud. Of course, he did much better and he deserves the win, but she also deserves the win for lasting so long and doing so good. This was actually the best fight. All the other ones were so uncomfortable and so unfair. Why would you watch that? Hope this is not gonna be a thing. Like a huge thing. Like viral. Please don't make this viral. Here I am reacting to it and giving more attention to it. GG Bunny! Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Also, I do live reactions every single day on my second channel, Bunnymon TV. And I stream every day except Fridays and Saturdays on Twitch, Bunnymon TV as well. I will leave a link in the description down below. Have a wonderful day. I love you and see you tomorrow. Bye!